And we're going to go a little further. Yes, we're going to go all the way to the cobalt mines of the Congo. Just dyed their hair a new shade of periwinkle because it's not in their backyard. Sorry, little children, you gotta mine those batteries. I felt like the worst thing I could possibly do for the environment is to buy an electric car. You wanna help the environment? Ride a horse. What's up, guys? I got my black coffee here. It's gotten cold, so it's just the way I like it. Extra masochism. Anyway, I'm also wearing the cardigan of ZFG, and today we're gonna talk about EVs, electric vehicles. Now, there's a couple of things going on, and there's an article here that has triggered me doing this. This is done by Car Buzz. I like them because they have silly articles. EVs could be contributing to a negative ecological health, as they are more economical to throw away than they are to repair. Oh my God. EVs are turning out to be throwaway appliances after minor accident damage. I think we're onto something here. Because one thing I noticed very quickly are Teslas seem like the ultimate car to write off insurance-wise. There's all kinds of salvage ones and parts and everything like that, which is really, really fascinating. Anyway, let's read a little bit about this and go into the disposable nature of EVs. And we're gonna go a little further. Yes, we're going to go all the way to the cobalt mines of the Congo. Sorry, little children, you got to mine those batteries because Greta Thunberg told you to. EVs are turning out to be throwaway appliances after minor accident damage. Repairing or replacing an electric vehicle's battery is often so expensive that the entire car gets junked. That's so much for the environment. So much for EVs saving the planet. Oh, I guess, well, they already said it for me. According to a report from Reuters, damage as minor as a scratch on the casing of a battery pack could be enough reason for an insurer to write off an electric car. Oh, God. Even if the insurer does not know for certain the battery pack's internals are damaged. That is absolutely true. The report goes on to say that for those that are willing to repair, EV batteries either cannot be worked on or cannot be assessed, forcing the insurer to rather consider the entire car a loss. And if the car is worked on, what happens if the repair was not performed correctly? To avoid potential lawsuits over EVs that ought to have been totaled, many insurers would rather avoid the risk altogether. And where do these potentially salvageable EVs end up? In a junkyard, exactly where EV advocates said their electric car would not go because we're saving the planet. We have a catastrophe of climate change right at our footsteps that will destroy all human civilization. Don't you mean World War III looming? I think that's what you mean, is the actual looming thing that could destroy all civilization. What? No, it's climate change, so we need to go to war. Yeah, that's true. The batteries are really expensive. They don't last forever. If you nick them, scratch them, overheat them, or do a litany of other things, they can spontaneously burst into horrible flames that you can't put out, taking your entire fuel tank and just lighting it all over your car and lighting on fire not seem like a big deal. So yeah, that's bad. The batteries are horrifically toxic. They're not recyclable. And guess where all their elements for them comes from? Crazy places like the Congo in Africa, where there's a poor bunch of kids with a lot of melanin in their skin in terrible mines taking this stuff and sending it to China to get made into batteries, to send back to here, to burn a lot of fuel while all this crap goes all around the world like a South Park skit, so that people sitting on the Malibu pier eating their avocado hoo-hoo food can feel good about themselves because it's not in their backyard and they just dyed their hair a new shade of periwinkle. So EVs are cool. I like them in a way. They're fast, they perform well, they do a lot of things that are neat. Actually, my wife and I thought about buying a Tesla S. It was a great deal. And I'm like, this is it. This is a great car. But she decided, you know, this is like an appliance. This is really nice, but it's boring. And I liked it because it was so good in utility for a local that I'm like, this is fantastic. However, my wife wanted a little personality and pizzazz. So instead of buying the Tesla, she bought a Maserati for the same amount of money and enjoyed it a heck of a lot more. We have since sold that. And do I miss getting a Tesla? No. I like them. And we would maybe have one, but I would only own it long enough that I don't have to get hit with the battery costs. And I would buy it used to let somebody else take the hit. Otherwise, buying a Tesla, in many ways, I would wager is more ecologically disastrous than this Lamborghini. Because one, the Lamborghini I can fix and keep it for all of time and drive it. It's gonna see limited mileage while I drive around here like this. And with the internal combustion engine, if I really wanted to, I could remap it and whatnot and make it run on, more sustainable fuels made for something biological, or if I grew it in my backyard if I wanted to, if we could, without getting nailed for not paying the taxes and gasoline and whatnot, even though EVs don't pay the tax for the electricity juice they get from their house. It's a road tax thing. It's a thing. And I know the Lamborghini is a bad example, but it's behind me. And that's where we're getting into a problem that everybody hates with states deciding they're going to ban the sale of internal combustion engines by a certain time, which is completely a political move. And what do we mean by politics? Do the people from a certain area actually care about other people, or is it really just a power grab? I would wager it's the latter. And by latter, I mean it's really just a power grab. Because electric cars are way more controllable. You can shut them off. You can autonomously make them drive away. In the case of Ford making its patenting things so the cars can repossess themselves and take it away. Wow! Who's a totalitarian, fascist, state-run, schmoozy? EVs are not saving the planet. They're toxic, they're stupid, and they're allowing people that don't look at anything past surface level to think they're special for having them. And we're not that dumb. And politicians from a certain side trying to ban internal combustion engines is just going to have a big backlash. And you're not helping the environment. You're not doing anything to help it. Why do I know that? Because I spent years of my life building the Omega car to build something that was more sustainably recyclable and could get 100 miles to gallon internal combustion engine only, so people could see how inefficient our manufacturing process it is. Because the real inefficiencies come with the fact that the crap we have, we don't maintain. We're a throwaway society that just keeps recycling and going through this because, we got to keep making money and selling new cars. That's how we do it, because we're locked in that cycle. And then these idiot green politicians that are really just a power grab to keep all the masses oppressed in the name of the environment or whatever else they're pandering to for idiots. It makes that work. But it's not for the betterment of a nation. It's not for the betterment of the world or the environment, and sure as hell isn't for the betterment of people. I don't buy new cars. I've never bought a new car or motorcycle because they're a bad purchase. Buy yourself a used vehicle that's good, a set of tools, go on some YouTube videos of how to maintain it, and just pay attention. And that's the best way to move forward. Every time you go buy a new car with all the batteries and technologies and toxic things in it that you don't need at all, not only are you losing money to depreciation or your loan or anything else and keeping you oppressed financially in a system, you're not helping the environment. I felt like the worst thing I could possibly do for the environment is to buy an electric car. You want to help the environment? Ride a horse, ride a bicycle, and shut up. You can't mandate everything into oblivion. And I'll give you an example of backlash. And I'm not really trying to be poised here. I'm sitting in my garage drinking a coffee. And this is annoying. It's annoying. I'm showing the annoyance of people because we're not dumb. Backlash of trying to ban internal combustion engines, the reason that's not actually going to help the environment is because we all know this is bull crap, and we're going to want to hang on to our internal combustion engines and fight harder for it because they still have a place in the world and society for a long time beyond this. And trying to ban it for the sake of internal combustion or for the sake of electric vehicles only makes certain kind of people richer. And gee, I don't know, let's look up the financial institution that supports the Communist China Party and see who sits on the board who owns the mines in Africa. Oh, I'll give you a hint. He seems to like hookers and blow on laptops the FBI don't want you to see. Look it up. It's just a game by idiots that's not in the betterment of the environment, a nation, or our future as people. And they use people like Greta Thunberg, some poor little girl who probably has a good heart but is misguided as all get out because she doesn't know anything, because her and her, activist parents want to be famous and have money and think they're important to society and have people like them when they're not. They're just a real life, global elite, political power gain pawn of clickbait. It's the garbage of our time. And we're supposed to like it? No, it's stupid. It's stupid. Go out, touch grass. Don't fall into this stuff. And stand up. Let's call it stupid and why. But the problem is if you stand up as a smart person and say why, if you haven't specifically done anything to showcase it's stupid that they're going to attack, the beauty about particular arguments relating to globalism and environmentalism is you can virtue signal, pat yourself on the back, and just be a horrific human being to everybody else and plug your ears and not actually think of anything or try to find any solutions for the future, and you could feel good and get power. But the beauty of it is all these people can be horrible, horrible fighters for the nature of positive future. But what's actually happened is you're giving politicians that don't give a crap about you, the movements, people, or even nations power. That's all it is. Just follow the money and follow the power. EVs suck. You can't maintain them well. The batteries are horrific. I would feel bad owning one and replacing the batteries because they're horrifically toxic. You ever feel bad when you get rid of an old cell phone? You ever throw one of those away, or a piece of electronics that's no good anymore, an old TV? I do. I don't like being a throwaway society like that because I know it's bad for the environment and world. And I'm just a guy from Ohio, a red flyover state that works on cars. But it's stupid. And the politicians in these states that are trying to ban internal combustion engine, make it electric only, we know you're just patting yourself on the back and virtuous signaling. We know electric vehicles aren't saving squat. And no, we're not stupid enough to think that there's a magic battery around the corner that's going to be recyclable. No. We know, and we don't like you. And this is stupid. So my suggestion is for all the smart people out there who aren't living in a basement and going to comment angrily right now that actually get this, I would suggest for you to take some positive action. Twofold. One, actually comment intelligently and fight back the idiots. And two, fight back the idiots in real life too. Stand up. Stop taking this bullshit. Call a spade a spade. Tell them it's just a power grab and it doesn't do anything. You can't fight. I'll give you an example. What is it? Article 88, I probably got this wrong. In the military, means you're not allowed to talk crap, basically, about higher ranking members, which includes the president. Which is actually sad because the military is a huge body of US citizens. And they're not dumb. But they don't talk crap about the president too much because that's not what you're supposed to do in the military of a higher ranking member. And the president's the highest ranking member of all the military branches. I just wish good people like that weren't so conservative that they can't step up and squelch and push back the tidal wave of sheer idiocy that's being used politically to ruin everything for everybody for the sake of power of a few. And I'll leave you with one other thing. You know how exotic car and classic car, specialty car prices have all doubled or more in the last few years? That is a symptom, not because everybody just specifically wants those cars, even though part of the backlash is people wanting to buy stuff like that because they're afraid they're not going to get it for internal combustion engines. The same way there was a run on ammunition and guns when Obama got in office because everybody freaked out and went to the gun store, which is interesting. The thing that proliferates the most guns in America is every time a Democrat gets in office and starts talking about it, everybody freaks out and goes and buys guns. If you want there to be less guns in America, vote Republican. I'm not even kidding. So the backlash. The reason why the car prices are going up is because the nature of money and the giant game the nation and world is playing to jack with the money. Because if you play enough with something that doesn't really exist in the nature of lending from local banks all the way up to the Fed, you can basically steal everything from everybody. And when the prices of things like gold and sports cars start going through the roof, guess what's being stolen from everybody? Okay, I think I'm done. This was disjointed, but it's my YouTube channel and I'm not running for public office right now. So you're getting me in the garage. So if you want to judge me by this, by all means. Comment below. Hate away. Love you too, honey.